All right, let's get into it. So you've got a car on the left making that horrible metal-on-metal grinding sound when you hit the key. We're going to tackle that exact sound today. We'll break down what it means, how you diagnose it like a pro, and most importantly, how to fix it right the first time. You know, that awful grinding sound is almost always the #1 sign of a failing flywheel ring gear. What you're hearing is the starter motor's little pinion gear just crashing into the big ring gear on the flywheel. But listen, that grinding noise isn't the only clue. There are a few other things we need to be looking for. Okay, so before we even think about picking up a wrench, our first tool is our ears. The symptoms tell a story, And if you really pay attention, the car will tell you exactly what's wrong. Let's break down what we're listening for. Now, the big clue here, the one that really points a finger, is the intermittent starting. If the car starts fine one time, but then just grinds away the next, that's a massive hint. It usually means only one section of the ring gear is chewed up because the engine tends to stop in just a few spots, and that one area just takes a beating over and over. Now, here's a classic rookie mistake. You hear that grind, and you immediately want to start pulling the transmission out. Whoa, hold on. That's a huge job. You don't want to do that unless you are absolutely certain. We have to be methodical. So let's start with the first and simplest check. Look, I can't stress this enough. Always, always check the battery first. A weak battery can make the starter solenoid act lazy. It might not throw the pinion gear out with enough force, causing it to just skip across the teeth, which, you guessed it, can sound a lot like a bad ring gear. Never, ever pull a transmission until you're positive you have to. This right here really gets to the heart of a good diagnosis. It separates a mechanical problem from an electrical one, plain and simple. It's all about the pattern of failure. A bad ring gear? You often get that inconsistent, ugly grinding. But a bad battery or starter? That's usually going to give you a consistent symptom, like a single click or a slow, dying crank every single time. Okay, so the battery's good. The electricals check out. We even put an ammeter on it and confirm the starter isn't drawing crazy current. Now, it's time to prove our theory by getting our eyes directly on those gear teeth. This is where the real work begins. All right, follow these steps exactly. Pop the starter motor out, get a good bright light in that opening. Now, you're going to put a breaker bar on the main crankshaft pulley bolt, and slowly, and I mean slowly and carefully, turn the engine over by hand. You're looking for any teeth that are chipped up, rounded over like a mushroom, or just flat out missing. You have to inspect all 360 degrees of that gear. Don't you dare miss a single tooth. And this right here, this sums up the most important lesson of this entire job. These two parts are a team. They live and die together. While you have that starter out, you absolutely must inspect its pinion gear. If those teeth are chewed up, they're just going to act like a file and grind a brand new ring gear to dust. If you don't check both, I guarantee you'll be doing this whole job all over again in a few months. Well, we've confirmed it. The ring gear is toast. The teeth are worn, maybe a few are broken. This is a big job, no doubt about it. The transmission has to come out. But if you're precise and you follow the procedure, man, is it a satisfying repair to get right. 250 Celsius, that is the magic number. After you've knocked the old gear off, you need to heat the new ring gear evenly in an oven to this temperature. And I say evenly because this is not a job for a blowtorch. That just creates hot spots and can warp the gear. Even heat makes the ring expand just enough to slip right onto the flywheel, creating this perfect, super strong interference fit when it cools down and shrinks. Okay, now pay close attention, because this is probably the most common and expensive mistake you can make on this job. You see that chamfered or beveled edge? That has to face outward, toward the starter. It's designed to be a ramp to guide that pinion gear smoothly into place. If you install it backward, the gears are just going to clash and smash, and that brand new ring gear will be destroyed almost instantly. And please do not cut corners here. Flywheel bolts are almost always torque to yield. That means they are designed to stretch permanently when you tighten them. If you reuse them, you're just asking for them to fail, which would be, well, catastrophic for the engine. So the rule is simple. Always new hardware, and follow the exact torque sequence from the service manual. No excuses. So the job's almost done, but really understanding the why behind the part is what separates a parts changer from a real technician. So let's take a quick look at the science that makes this simple-looking ring so incredibly tough. See, this isn't just a simple hoop of steel. It's a piece of precision engineering. It's made from high-carbon steel, and then it's induction hardened. That makes the teeth on the outside super durable, but the core stays just a little bit softer.
That softer core lets it absorb the violent shock of the starter hitting it thousands and thousands of times without cracking. Pretty cool, huh? Now, you're seeing these stop-start engines in the shop more and more, right? They present a totally unique challenge. They put a whole different level of stress on the entire starting system, and especially on our friend the ring gear. Just think about it for a second. A normal car might get started, 50,000 times in its entire life? A stop-start vehicle stuck in city traffic can hit that number in just a couple of years. Because of that insane use, the parts have to be way tougher. They use specially hardened gears. So, it is absolutely critical that you use the correct replacement part for that specific car. So, if you're going to remember one thing from all this, let it be this. That simple-looking gear is the critical link between the entire electrical system and the mechanical engine. A good repair isn't just about swapping the part. It's about figuring out why it failed. Was it a weak starter, a bad battery, or just a ton of miles? Learning to diagnose the problem methodically, that's the skill that separates guesswork from great work.